Okay, so class, good evening. So thank you so much for attending again our special session. This is now the last topic for Calculus 1. So the topic is on the radius and center of curvature. So this is another application of calculus wherein we are going to solve the radius and the center of a curvature. So you know a curve is, di ba? So based on definition here, class, I'll just read the definition here. The concept of derivative is related to the tangent of a curve. May papapasok si Baloka, Storbo, Char. Okay? So, the concept of derivative is related to the tangent of the curve. Diba? Yun naman talaga ang application natin, class, that the derivative is solving for the slope of the tangent of a curve, to a given curve. Tama? Okay? So, given a function or given a curve, ang application ng derivative is that we solve for the tangent of that curve. Okay? The slope of the tangent of that curve. So, it is related to the tangent of a curve. That is the concept of a derivative. And then another concept of geometric interest is that of the curvature. Okay? So, curvature, class, simple lang yung concept ng curvature from the word itself, curve. Okay? Yung curves natin. Okay, a circle, a curve, lahat that is curve. Okay, a curve. Considering the curve shown here, class, so this curve here, okay, that is a curve. Let S be the length of the arc. Means arc, okay? Let S be the length of the arc of the curve between A, this point A here, and then a variable P. Assuming here, class, there's a point P there. Okay? And then denote the slope of the angle of the tangent T. So you have your tangent T there. Okay? And the slope angle of the tangent T to the curve is denoted as phi. The rate of change, pag binago-bago natin yan, with respect to the length of your arc, class, is called the curvature. Okay? Itong theta nito, class, okay, this theta, class, nababago. Kung ilipat-lipat ko tong variable P na to, for example, dito yung gagawin kong point P, class, ilipat ko dito, okay, di ba may tangent line pa rin yon. The change ng pagbago-bago ng inyong angle dyan, class, with respect to the length of your arc, okay, that is called the curvature of the curve at P. And that is denoted as K. I repeat, so that is the derivative of phi, okay, with respect to the length of the arc. And our concern here, class, is how to solve for the radius of that curvature. That's very simple, class. We just get the reciprocal of the curvature and there we solve the radius of the curvature. So yung radius niya, class, for instance, at that point P, class, at this point P, okay, given, kunin ano yung from its center, okay, that is meron ka makukuhang radius. So what is the value of that radius? Okay? So that is just the reciprocal, class, of the curvature, or that is the absolute value of 1 plus the second derivative of your dy all over dx square, okay, raised to 3/2 all over the absolute value of the second derivative with respect to dx square. Okay? So, yan ang formula for the radius of the curvature. Kindly screenshot it, class, kasi gagamitin natin yung formula mamaya para isolve yung ating example. By the way, in the exam, nilagay namin yan sa last page, the formula for the radius of the curvature. So, no problem in the exam. Okay? Say thank you naman, Pakabawiin ko yun, hindi ko pa napapaprint yon.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, very good. Sino yung nag-thank you? Okay, so, okay, Sevilla. Next is that, yan. So, for this one, class, di ba yung nilagay natin doon is 1 plus dy all over dx square. Okay, that is the square of the first derivative, raised to 3/2 all over yung d squared. That is the second derivative of your dy. Nakuha? So, let's just make things clear. Yung nilagay kasi natin dito, ayan, 1 plus the square of the first derivative raised to 3/2 all over the second derivative of the function. Iba yung square ha. Kumbaga, kunin mo muna yung first derivative, then i-square mo siya. Yung nasa denominator is the second derivative of the function. Or, r now is equal to 1 plus y prime square raised to 3 halves all over y double prime. That's to solve the radius. Okay? So note the difference, y prime is equal to the first derivative, y double prime is equal to the second derivative. But we are going to apply the differentiation of the parametric functions, yung sinolve natin last time. Okay? So, if the equation class of the curve is given by x is equal to gy, so pinangalanan siyang x is equal to gy, so x prime naman ang kukunin, x double prime. Okay? Ibig sabihin class, defining equation for r takes from the form, ito naman ang form niya. Yes? So, this is for the parametric equation in terms of parametric yung given. Okay? So, this is the formula. Pero, hindi to usually ginagamit na. Ang ginagamit lang natin is this one. Okay? That 2. So, walang problem dyan. And then, for the center of the curvature, kukunin mo naman kung meron kang, if you have the radius class, di syempre meron kang center. Yung h and k mo, parang yung circle, parabola, di ba, meron kang center. So, ano yung h and k? X is for the x-axis, yung point at the x, okay? Then yung k mo is for the y. Okay? So, simple lang yan, class. The equation of the circle of curvature is given like this. And then the radius, substitute mo lang. Okay, yung formula ng radius natin. And from there, you will be able to solve for your h and k. So the formula for h class is this one. And for the formula for the k is this one. Okay? Yan ay nalagay din sa list of formulas na ka-attach doon sa exam paper ninyo. Okay? So no need to memorize those. Okay? And then, itong paper, naka-upload din sa LMS ninyo. Okay? So, let's have the examples. Memorize nyo yung ito, tapos na natin ito na-discuss dun sa isang discussion natin. So, doon na tayo sa, okay, radius of curvature. Okay, class. Given curve, sine x. Okay? Find the radius of curvature of the sine x at points pi halves and 1. Okay? So, una is that we put the formula for the radius of the curvature para hindi kayo mawala. So, the formula is 1 plus the square of the y prime or the first derivative raised to 3 halves all over the second derivative of your function. We know, class, that the first derivative of sine is cosine. And then, we substitute your x, which is pi halves. So, cosine pi halves is 0. Nakuha? And then, second derivative, class, so ibig sabihin, we need to derive again cosine x. So, the derivative of cosine x is negative sine x. And substituting the value of your x, which is pi halves, negative sine pi halves is equal to negative 1 using your calculator. Okay? And then from their class, you have now your value of your y prime, which is 0. Y double prime is equal to negative 1. And then just simply substitute that to the formula of the radius of curvature. So 1 plus y prime, which is equal to 0 square raised to 3 halves all over the absolute value of your second derivative, which is negative 1. Absolute value, so that becomes positive 1. Okay? Di ba pag absolute value, ang negative nagiging positive. So, 1 raised to 3 halves, any number, ang 1 raised to any number is still equal to 1. 1 divided by 1 is equal to 1. So, the final answer is 1 unit. Nakuha? Okay? Para may mood naman ako pakilagay sa comment, okay, gano'n naman kayo. Yes po, okay, planggana, gano'n. True, gano'n. Pak, gano'n lang. Gets, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Sige man, try nyo man to. Ang problema yun kasi dito kung yung wala namang problema sa pagde-derive kasi Tapos nyo na yung pagde-derive. Alam nyo na mag-derive, di ba? Sige, try nyo naman to class. Given naman class is x. Kanina is function of y. Pag ganun lang, pagbalik ta rin nyo lang, no? Sige man, itry nyo man to class and then ilagay nyo sa comment box yung sagot. Sige man, 1 minute. Pakitry. Given e raised to y minus 2y, so you have this formula class na 1 plus x prime and then square raised to 3 halves all over the absolute value of the second derivative. Itry nyo man e raised to y minus 2y at points 1 and 0. 1 minute class. Ano class? Sige na nga, solve na natin. Okay, so first is that we get the first derivative and then the second derivative. Okay, so easy lang yung class. So magiging ano ang first derivative ni x? X prime equals, ano ang class, di ba ang e raised to u, ang first derivative niyan is e raised to u times the derivative of your u. Tama? So pag e raised to y, that is still copy paste e raised to y times derivative ni y which is 1. Kasi with respect to y yan. Tama? Para ang dating nito class is derivative ni x with respect to y. Binaliktad niya lang yung kanina naman, derivative ni y with respect to x. Pag with respect to y yan class, ang derivative ni y is 1. Hindi siya implicit derivative. Nakuha? Okay? So minus negative 2y. So that is derivative ni 2y with respect to y is negative 2. Kumbaga parang negative 2x, derivative ni negative 2x with respect to x is negative 2. Pag dito naman negative 2y with respect to y, that is negative 2. Nakuha? Okay? So yan yung first derivative mo. And then, given class, merong value ni y which is 0. Okay? So you just simply substitute class yung nakuha mo dito sa y, itong x prime mo, so magiging equals e raised to 0 minus 2, e raised to 0 is 1. So 1, kasi di ba any number raised to 0 is 1, minus 2 that is negative 1. So meron ka ng x prime which is negative 1. Okay? And then next, kunin mo ulit yung second derivative niya class. Okay? So ano ang second derivative ni e raised to y minus 2? Ang derivative ni e raised to y class is still e raised to y. Then derivative ni 2 is 0. So ang naiwan is e raised to y and then given point y class is 0. Diba? Given yun, at 1, 0, y 0. So 1, ang makuha mo is 1. So you have your x prime which is equal to negative 1, and then x double prime is equal to positive 1. And then you substitute it in the formula. Ta-da! Okay, 1 plus negative 1 square. Negative 1 square is positive 1. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Then raised to 3 halves. Then absolute value of 1, still 1. So that is equal to square root of 2 raised to 3, or that is 2 square root of 2. So that is the radius of the curvature. 2.83. Parehas ba yung 2.83? Let's check. 2 square root of 2, that is 2.83. Okay, correct. 0 then. Calvin, siguro may nagkamali ka lang na equation. Okay? So double check mo lang yung sa may solution mo, Calvin. Or 2.83. Okay? 2.83 units. Okay, very good. Okay. Ito, given parametric equation naman, class. So, this is parametric equation. So, pag parametric equation ang given, ito ang gagawin nyo, class. That is g prime square plus h prime square, okay, raised to 3 halves all over g prime h double prime minus g double prime h prime. So, ang mangyayari dyan is, ang g mo itong x mo. Kumbaga, ang dito, class, is x prime, parang x prime squared, okay, plus y prime square raised to 3 halves all over, okay, absolute value pa rin, g prime or the x prime, h double prime or that's yung y double prime minus g double prime, h prime. Nakuha? So, itong g natin magiging t squared. So, magiging 2t minus 2. So, you get first the derivative of your x, that is 2t minus 2. Okay, that's for your g prime. And then you have a value of t which is 1. At t is equal to 1, so you substitute, you have now g is equal to 0. Nakuha. And then g double prime is derivative of 2t minus 2. So 2t is 2 na lang na iwan. Wala ka namang isa-substitute kasi wala namang t dyan. Nakuha? So meron ka ng g prime and g double prime. As well as for your h. O, ganun lang din. Kunin mo lang yung itong 1 minus 40 naman, yung y mo. That is 1 minus 40. Diba? Y is 1 minus 40. So h prime, first derivative is negative 4. And then if you get the second derivative of negative 4, that's constant, so 0 na. So negative 4 and 0. And then you just simply substitute all those to our formula. Okay? So makukuha mo is 8 units. But be careful because in the denominator, put absolute value. Baka ilagay nyo mamaya negative 8 units. Nakuha? So the formula is this. Okay? X prime squared plus y prime squared raised to 3 halves all over the absolute value of x prime, y double prime minus g double prime, h prime. Okay? Okay, ito naman, center of curvature. Yung sa formula natin kanina, the center of curvature is equal to h. So you have to get first meron kang value ni x which is 0. So y prime times 1 plus y, the square of the first derivative all over y double prime. And then for the k naman is y plus 1 plus y prime square all over y double prime. I repeat, in the exam, nilagay namin yung mga formula doon para kahit hindi nyo na i-memorize. Okay? So, given 1/2 e raised to x plus e raised to negative x at 0, 1. So, what is the center of the curvature? So, first, you have to get the first derivative kasi ang kailangan natin first derivative and y derivative. Then, we substitute the value of our x to solve for our y prime. So 1/2 plus ang derivative ni 1/2 e raised to x plus e raised to x is equal to 1/2. Okay, e raised to x lapa then derivative ni x is 1. Tama? Di ba parang 1 half, okay, constant yan. Ano ang derivative ni e raised to x? E raised to x, di ba e raised to u du? Ano ang derivative ni x? That is positive 1. So e raised to x times 1 plus derivative ni e raised to negative x is e raised to u lapa. Derivative ni e raised to negative x, negative 1. Kaya times negative 1. So magiging 1 half e raised to x minus e raised to negative x. Kaya siya yan. Okay? And then we have a value of x which is 0. So e raised to 0 is 1. E raised to 0 is 1. The 1 minus 1 is 0 times 1 half, that is equal to 0. So meron ka ng y prime. And then for the second derivative naman, o i-derivative mo lang, i-doblehin mo lang, i-derive mo ulit to. Itong 1 half e raised to x natin, e raised to negative x. Diba? Just get the derivative of that ulit. O, ano yung given? Diba? We have 1 half times e raised to x minus e raised to negative x. So 1 half, ano ang derivative ni e raised to x? EU du. So e raised to x, derivative ni x is 1 minus derivative ni e raised to negative x. So e raised to x negative x, derivative ni negative x is negative 1. Negative times negative 1, that is positive. Kaya 1 half e raised to x plus e raised to negative x. Kaya siya yun. Nakuha. Then you have the value of x which is 0. Substitute mo. So e raised to 0 is 1 plus e raised to 0 is 1. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. 2 divided by 2, 1 half times 2 is 1. Okay? So meron ka ng value ng y mo, y prime which is 0. Meron ka ng value ng y double prime mo which is 1. You have the value of your h which is 0. You have your k which is 1. Okay, yun yung point. Okay, so h. So anong x mo? 0. Okay? Minus y prime is 0. And then times 1 plus y prime is again 0 squared all over y double prime which is equal to 1. Okay, calculating it, you get 0. Okay? And then for the k, so substitute mo lang dun sa formula. Okay, ang y mo, yun yung given na x and y class A. Ito ito yung x and y dun sa first formula natin. This one, yung x dyan, ayon. Yung y naman, ito, this one, itong sa k, yan, ayon. Okay? So then you substitute sa ating formula, k now is equal to 1 plus, ano yung y prime natin? 0. Square all over y double prime natin is 1. So we solve 2. So the center class is 0 and 2. So that is the center of the curvature. Nakuha? Okay. I hope so. Kindly try this one and then write in the comment box your answer. Before we answer, okay, 2 minutes. So given y, andyan naman na yung formula class. So h is equal to x minus, and then k is equal to y plus. Okay, pakitry class. Ln of x. Do you know the derivative of ln of x? Diba du all over u. Okay, so you try. 2 minutes. Okay, so let's check. That is 3 and negative 1. Wala na bang ibang magbibigay ng sagot? 1 and negative 1. Sino pa? Ang cute-cute ko pala sa screen, no? Okay, let's check. Sige, check na natin. Para mabilis tayo. Okay. So, ang derivative ng ln of u class, di ba? Ang ln of u is equal to 1 all over u times du all over dx. Or that is du all over u. So, ang ln of x mo, so that is ang x, that is 1 all over x times derivative ni x is 1. So, that is 1 all over x. Okay? Yan. Derivative ni ln of x is 1 all over x. And you have x class which is 1. So, that is 1 all over 1 is equal to 1. And then for the second derivative, ang ide-derive mo class si 1 all over x. So, law di high. So, derivative niyan, law squared. So, law, derivative ni high is 0. Okay, derivative ni minus high, derivative ni law which is 1. So, that is negative 1 all over x squared. Siya yun. Okay, then we substitute the value of our x wherein our x is equal to 1. So 1 divided by 1 squared, so meron kang negative sign, so that is negative 1. So y prime is equal to 1, y double prime is equal to negative 1. We substitute it to our formula, h is equal to x minus y prime. So x is 1, okay, yun dito, at x is equal to 1, okay? And then minus y prime which is 1, times 1 plus y prime again is 1, squared all over negative 1 ang y double prime mo. Okay? From there, makuha mo is 1 plus 2 all over 1 or that is 3. For our k naman, that is y plus 1 plus y prime squared, y double prime. So 1 plus y prime is 1. Ang y mo is 0 all over negative 1 and that is equal to negative 2. So our center is 3 and negative 2. Tama ba yung nakakuha? Oo. Pero then, check mo man yung K mo. Is it negative 1 or negative 2? Kindly confirm. Baka mamaya masakit yung loob mo. Char lang. Hindi, I mean, baka may mali dito sa computation ko. Paki-check man. Sir, X yung nailagay ko sa K. Ha, mali po ako. So, correct din to? Opo, okay. So, Calvin, pacheck ako nung H mo. Baka namali ka din sa H. Ay, be careful Anyway, sabi ko sa inyo, binigay namin yung mga formula doon sa exam. So, pero sa quiz, hindi ko ibibigay. Hindi. Pag-isipan ko muna. Kung magandang panaginip ko sa Sunday, ibibigay ko na rin ibibigay ko na rin yung formula. Okay? Ayan. So, lahat ito uploaded sa LMS ninyo, and then itong video i-upload ko ulit sa YouTube natin. Yes? Okay, so thank you so much for joining me tonight in this recording. And then if you just have questions, just message me and then we clarify things. Okay? So I'll stop presenting now. And then I'll stop the recording.